In a move that did not surprise anybody, Ubisoft has officially delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows to February 14th, 2025. This comes after them pulling out of the Tokyo Game Show. And yesterday we were talking about it. I had a video this morning come out. I recorded that late last night, so it was a little outdated by the time it came out because literally within the hour, this announcement was made that they would be delaying it. So they made a statement. Again, I'm not surprised by this. Pulling out of Tokyo Game Show, they couldn't even show the biggest game that they were going to have this year at the biggest event in the country that this game takes place in because they've been so offensive to Japanese culture. They've been so disrespectful to Japanese culture. They've had all sorts of nonsense. Like just the other day, they have a one-legged Tory in their merchandising that is literally the Tory from the Nagasaki atomic bombing. On top of that, we've had Chinese architecture in the game. We've had reenactment flags that don't belong there. And we've had this whole bullshit narrative of Yasuke being a legendary samurai, which is not fact, when they could have just made a historical character that was fictional. They could have made a fictional historical character instead of pushing Yasuke. It was all part of a woke narrative. Anyways, when you go woke, you go broke. And this is fresh off the heels of Star Wars Outlaws also being a complete, utter disaster, not selling as much as they had hoped. So here's their statement. We're going to take a look at it. It says, "Dear players, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dream project for us. Finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed with our community in mind, such as parkour or the renewed stealth brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful, immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that can be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists, but we realize we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features." So I think this is also based off of how Star Wars Outlaws was met with bad feedback. People didn't like a lot of the glitches, a lot of the stealth mechanics were crap. In fact, today they put a update on Star Wars Outlaws saying that they have a lot of updates coming to the title, a lot of patches, the upcoming DLCs, and I guess quality of life updates in regards to the stealth and other things like that. I know there was a lot of problems with the stealth being very, very, very strict and punishing to an extent. So I wouldn't doubt it if after the performance of Star Wars Outlaws that now with Star Wars Outlaws being out here being announced that it has to be worked on, that they don't want the same thing to happen with Assassin's Creed Shadows, especially when they have an investor call coming up where minority investors are already saying please go private or sell the company. They don't want to piss anybody else off because if this game fails, definitely, which likely it's still going to underperform. I wouldn't say exactly flop, but it's going to underperform. They'll be in trouble because the stock's already at an all-time decade low. Continuing on, they said they've made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14th. The game will release on a broad range of platforms, including Steam at launch. So now everything's going to be at once. Additionally, pre-orders will be refunded and all future pre-orders will be granted the first expansion for free. So that's interesting. Pre-orders going to be refunded and future ones will get the first expansion for free. We understand this decision will come as disappointing news, especially to those who've been waiting patiently for an Assassin's Creed game inspired by feudal Japan, but we sincerely believe this is the best interest of the game and ultimately your experience as a player. I think that heat got way too hot for them in the kitchen, if I'm going to be honest. They don't care about the best experience for the player. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. Rest assured, we're looking forward to the moment you will embark on a memorable adventure with Naoi and Yasuke. Till then, we thank you for your ongoing support. So this was on behalf of all teams working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. So definitely expected, not surprised. Now let's look at some of the stuff down below. You see White's Metal says, "What better way to celebrate Black History Month than by promoting Asian hate?" I mean, they're not wrong. You got Yusuke cutting off people's limbs to hip hop music. Dread Robert says, "There it is." Jeremy Prime says, "What's the magic word to get what you want?" Racist. Ricky Berwick laughing. Kangman saying, "Just delay it forever. No one wants to play as a black dude killing Asians in feudal Japan." Ghost of Your Toy got y'all moving like this. Your toy got you shook. I mean, you could just see they're being roasted completely in the comments. And again, this wasn't a surprise, especially now after Ghost of Your Toys coming out. I know that that petition in Japan was wanting them to uh, cancel the game. I don't think that's going to happen at this point, but uh, a 2 month delay, 3 month delay from November, definitely interesting. So yeah, you can see this was in a document that was updating his financial target, saying that they will now be released. And basically, the company said the learnings from the Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. This will enable the biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure, with Naoi and Yasuke bringing two very different gameplay styles. So basically, this is just being done to please investors that are already pissed off at Ubisoft for everything that they've been doing with the game. I don't think this has anything to do with making gamers happy. It's all optics. If we're going to be completely honest, it's 110% optics. If you think about everything that's been going wrong with this game, they haven't been able to do anything right as a company. It seems like every decision they've been signing off on, whether it's a embarrassing booth at a Paris Expo where they had a sword from One Piece as Yasuke samurai sword, to having Thomas Lockley being an official source that they used for historical accuracies in regards to Yasuke, to this former Sweet Baby consultant helping them write this hit piece on the New York Times. They're destroying any credibility they have on this game. And on top of that, if you even dare to go to the subreddit, they'll block you if you argue with it. And now, apparently, according to Hypnotic, he said they blocked him on Twitter for posting a meme. So they're blocking, they're censoring, they're covering, they're damage controlling. I believe it's only a matter of time before Assassin's Creed Shadows blocks me on Twitter as well. Because that's exactly what they want. They want to control narrative. They want to push their echo chamber, and if you're not in it, you're racist. You're racist because you have a problem with Yasuke. Somebody tried to come at me about that today. That's not the case. I'm more annoyed that they're pandering instead. Companies like Ubisoft are pandering to a modern audience that does not exist, that doesn't give a shit about this game, that doesn't give a shit about games in general. And this is what happens. You get delays, you get a lot of backlash, you get mistakes, you get caught slipping. So, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're close to 92,000 subscribers. So, jump on board to the ABE Nation. Thank you guys.